I still remember the night everything changed, the night that taught me what real worth looks like and what humiliation feels like when it comes from the person you love. My name is Sophia, and for 2 long years, I believed that Jacob, my fiancé, truly loved me. I believed our story was made of tenderness and patience, something that could survive storms, arguments, and even financial pressure. But sometimes the person you trust most becomes the one who pushes you to the edge, and sometimes the world sends help from a place you never expect. It was a warm evening when Jacob invited me to a dinner party at his parents' mansion, a place so large and shining that every step I took inside made me feel smaller. Noah, his father, was a man with a sharp gaze that could cut through steel, and Isabella, his mother, always looked at me as if I didn't belong in their world of crystal plates and silent servants. Ava, Jacob's older sister, carried her pride like a crown and her judgment like a weapon. I tried to smile, tried to be polite, tried to keep my voice calm, but from the moment I stepped into their golden living room, I sensed something was wrong. Jacob didn't hold my hand the way he used to, didn't lean close to whisper reassuring words. In fact, he kept walking a little ahead of me, creating a small distance that slowly grew into something painful. Dinner started with cold comments Isabella, asking again why a simple girl like me didn't come from a better family. Ava laughing about the dress I wore because it wasn't a designer brand, and Noah asking dryly what Jacob saw in me when there were better matches everywhere. I swallowed my pride again and again, reminding myself that love means patience, that sometimes families need time to accept someone new, that Jacob would defend me. But instead, he joined them. He laughed softly when Ava said I looked like I bought my dress from a clearance rack. He didn't stop Isabella when she asked if I wanted to take proper etiquette lessons so I wouldn't embarrass them in public. And when Noah asked Jacob if he was still sure about the engagement, Jacob hesitated for a second before saying, we're still figuring things out. That was the moment something inside me cracked. I felt like the air had been punched out of my chest, like the walls were closing in on me, like every dream I had built with Jacob was crashing in slow motion. My heart pounded so loudly I could barely hear Isabella's next insulting question. I tried to respond calmly, but my voice trembled, and I saw Ava smirk like she had been waiting for that moment. And then Jacob did something I never thought he was capable of. He turned to his family and said, Sophia still needs to work on a lot of things. She's not ready for this world yet. This world, as if I was some unpolished stone he had picked up on the street, as if he was doing me a favor by letting me near his family. Every word he spoke felt like a slap. I didn't cry, couldn't. My body froze, my hands turned cold, and I whispered, Jacob, why would you say that? Instead of apologizing, he shrugged and said, Sophia, don't make a scene. I'm just being honest. The humiliation sank deep inside me, cold and heavy. I stood up quietly, planning to walk out with whatever dignity I had left. But Noah stopped me with a mocking smile and said, Leaving already? That's rude. And something in me whispered, Run. My legs moved before my thoughts could catch up. I walked out of the dining room, passing tall glass windows that reflected a version of myself I barely recognized, small, tired, and hurt. I almost reached the main door when suddenly the entire room behind me went silent. I heard the soft click of expensive heels on marble floor, and then a familiar voice, warm, confident, and full of quiet power. Sophia. I turned around and saw her. Emma, the billionaire I once saved 2 years ago when her private car broke down on a lonely highway, and I stopped to help her even though I was late for my night shift. I didn't know who she was back then. She didn't tell me. I only knew she was scared, alone and grateful when I offered her my jacket and waited with her until help arrived. She had hugged me that night and said, Someday, I hope I can return this kindness. I never expected her to remember, but here she was, standing in Jacob's mansion, wearing a sleek black dress and a calm expression that carried more weight than Noah's millions. Noah rushed forward with a big smile, saying, Ms. Emma, we didn't expect you so early. Please forgive the mess. But Emma walked right past him and came straight to me. Why do you look so upset? She asked softly. Jacob's voice cut in, tense and fake sweet. We were just having dinner. Sophia can be a bit sensitive sometimes. Emma's eyes narrowed. Is that so? She looked at me again, this time studying the pain in my eyes. Then she turned toward the family, her tone turning cold. I heard everything. Noah stiffened. Isabella's smile fell apart. Ava's lips tightened. Jacob's face turned pale. Emma stepped forward, her presence filling the entire room, and said, "Let me make something clear. Sophia isn't just a better person than all of you. Combined, she's the reason I got home safe. The night someone tried to follow me on that highway, she saved me. She didn't know who I was. She didn't ask for anything. She acted with pure kindness." Noah opened his mouth, but Emma raised her hand. "You insult her clothing, her background, her worth." Her voice turned sharp. "But what do you even have besides money?" The room became painfully silent. No one breathed. "Sophia," she said gently, "come with me." I felt Jacob step forward, as if realizing too late what he had done. "Emma, she's my fiancée," he said quickly. "We just were," Emma corrected. "You were her fiancé after the way you treated her tonight. You don't deserve to speak her name." Jacob swallowed hard. "Emma, you can't just—" Emma turned to him with a look so fierce it silenced him instantly. "I can, and I will." Then she looked at Noah and said, "And since kindness seems to be something you can't teach, let me give you something money can understand." Noah blinked. "What do you mean?" Emma's voice dropped, smooth and lethal. "Starting tomorrow, I will no longer be doing business with your company. Every contract, every deal, every partnership, we're done." The color drained from Noah's face. Isabella grabbed his arm. Ava gasped quietly. "Emma, wait," Noah said, panic rising. "Please, let's discuss this." "We didn't mean you meant every word," Emma said. "I'm simply choosing to walk away from people who don't deserve to sit at my table." My heart raced. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. Emma turned back to me. "Sophia, you don't need to stay here another minute." Jacob tried one last time, reaching for me. "Sophia, I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't mean to hurt you. You know how my family is, they push me." I stepped back from him with a quiet strength I didn't know I had. "Jacob, you pushed me too." His throat tightened. "We can fix this." "No," I said, feeling my voice grow steadier. "You broke something I can't trust anymore." Jacob's eyes filled with anger and desperation. But Emma stepped between us and said firmly, "She said no," and that was the end. I walked out of the mansion with Emma beside me, the night air cool against my burning cheeks. Once we were outside, I let out a shaky breath. Emma placed a gentle hand on my shoulder. "You didn't deserve a single word they said." She told me, "You are stronger than all of them." For the first time that night, I felt my heart steady again. "Thank you," I whispered. "But why did you defend me like that?" Emma smiled softly. "Because kindness should always come back home. And because someone like you deserves protection, respect, and far better love." Over the next weeks, Emma didn't just disappear from my life, she stayed close. She offered me a job in her company, a mentorship program, and real support. She helped me grow into someone confident, someone who no longer needed validation from people who belittled me. And as months passed, my heart healed, not because of revenge or power, but because I realized something important. Love is not supposed to make you feel small. It is supposed to lift you. 1 year later, I stood on the balcony of my new apartment, looking at the city lights, feeling more free and alive than ever. Jacob tried to reach out many times, but I never went back. Some doors need to stay closed, and Amushe became a friend I never expected, almost like a protective older sister life gifted me at the perfect moment. My story didn't end in that mansion. It began there. Sometimes humiliation is the push we need to walk toward a better life. Sometimes the people who save others end up being saved too. And sometimes the most painful night becomes the one that leads you home.